So no one told you your life was going to be this gay? While this might not necessarily be the gay friends, this movie will definitely remind you of that show because it deals with a bunch of friends just hanging out, and looking back at it now, it is filled with 90s nostalgia. This is 1997's I Think I Do, directed by Brian Sloan. It is an ensemble piece, but at the center of it is about a character named Bob and his relationship with a roommate, and they meet years later at a friend's wedding, and that is where the heart of the film takes place. Now, I will be avoiding major spoilers so you can enjoy this freely. I will be talking briefly about the movie, but I'm trying to avoid major plot points. This film is such an easy watch. It is a 90s style romantic comedy, but the difference is it has gay characters at the center of it. You know, normally you see gay characters in movies like these as supporting characters, but what's really interesting about this one is that the heterosexual characters are the supporting characters on the side. Even the couple that is getting married in the whole set piece of the film, they're kind of relegated to the sidelines while the gay agenda gets pushed in front of everything. What's really interesting about the film is that it's dealing with a lot of different characters, but the screenplay manages to balance all the characters' stories, while, of course, you know, spotlighting the gay one at the center of it. There's a wonderful set piece later in the film that a lot of ensemble movies do. I mean, I know Paul Thomas Anderson did this in Magnolia, and Donnie Darko does this as well, where we kind of see a montage of all the characters. And I love moments like that really utilize cinema in its full power. Now, the leading character is played by an actress named Alexis Arquette. It's not really kind of clear, but I think she probably would have identified either as transgender or non-binary, but she passed away in 2016 due to complications to HIV. And this movie is before they transitioned to a woman, but I first became aware of Alexis's work in the film called The Trip, which I made a film review about on here. Apparently, I had known about her work before because they are in the film Pulp Fiction, which you might have heard of, and they play this character. And I didn't know anything about that until I read more about their work after watching this movie. Alexis is the sibling to other actors that you might recognize, David Arquette and Patricia Arquette. Very, very sad loss, but she did, in her short amount of time that she was here, she did leave an impact in the cinema. Now, Alexis Arquette in this film does a great job just playing the straight man, pun intended. She just has to kind of let the other characters bounce off their exuberant roles off of her, because you got to have that, you know, vessel where the audience can go into. But yet that they're very difficult to pull off well, because you could come off very boring. Bob's character does not come off as boring. It's still a pretty, you know, even character. But I mean to say it's not really an exuberant, you know, flamboyant performance, but it's more of a subdued, you know, held back performance, which can be difficult to do, like I said. Now, also in this film is another actor, which I made another video about, another movie that they're in called Retake, and this is the actor named Tuck Watkins. And now this man, he just oozes star power and charisma, and he's got that Hollywood iconic face. He's just a wonderful person to look at, and apparently, reading about this film, this was his first feature film debut, and he plays this really kind of goofball TV actor in the movie, and he does a wonderful job kind of being that, you know, wholesome, like he wants to get married, he wants, you know, kind of a traditional family, all while this other complicated thing is happening. Big set piece in this movie that takes place during a wedding, which for obvious reasons reminded me of another video that I did on this channel. Man, this is just like a playlist of all the videos that I've done. But it reminded me of another video I did on this channel called The Wedding Banquet, for obvious reasons, because it does have that feeling, that fun feeling of going to a wedding, attending a wedding, preparing for the wedding, and stuff like that. And a major part of this movie is taking place at this wedding. And what really irritated me, and I would probably never go to this wedding if I was invited to it, because it takes place like on, I believe, or near Halloween, and they don't even do anything Halloween-esque about the wedding. I mean, that's wrong. That's wrong. There are moments where there's exaggerated, you know, moments and characters for comedic effect. You know, you could feel like, would the person really do that? Well, not really, but we're getting this kind of hyper stylized version for the comedy to come out. There's a lot of that in here, and if you like that, if you like those types of goofball comedies from the 90s, but you wanted the gay version of it, here you go. There are moments in the film, later in the film, that you're really hoping things don't play out a certain way, because if they do, they would be super toxic for the main character, and Alexis plays the character so well that you really want this Bob character to be happy. And the ending that we get at least satisfied me a lot. Happiness is a big part of this ending, if that matters to you. Now, just like a movie I reviewed called Lilies, I feel like this film is really underseen, and it is also another Strand releasing, and they did another great job doing a 4K restoration of this. And Strand Releasing is becoming one of my little favorite distributors. They're doing a really great job in preserving LGBT cinema. I'm not currently sponsored by them or anything, so this is not like a... If you just want a fun, easy, breezy experience, you just pop on and just enjoy it and have a pleasant evening, then I think you should say I do to I think I do. Okay. I don't know.